Hey, Randy, what you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. I'm just making a list of things that make me feel really, really good.
Wearing Bombas socks.
Trust me, that's number one on my list. Bombas socks feel so good because we use the smartest design and best materials, making them the most comfortable socks ever.
Plus, because socks are the number one most requested clothing item in homeless shelters, we donate a pair for every pair purchased, and that feels pretty good too.
To shop Bombas or learn more about how your purchase supports those experiencing homelessness, go to bombas.com/comfy and get 20% off your first purchase.
We have a reopening date for Disneyland Resort theme parks, and with that, some of the things that might just come along with the reopened theme parks. Out in Walt Disney World, Disney's Hollywood Studios is getting a dose of new and perhaps some old magic returning. And who does it better, Disneyland Park or Magic Kingdom Park? We discuss all coming up. It is March the 20th, 2021. Kingdom Report Live starts right now.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Kicking off the weekend like we always do with that live look outside at the Disneyland Resort California Adventure in the distance, and you see, oh, Guardians looming high atop DCA, as they say. And welcome, my friends. Wade Heath joining you here as part of Kingdom Report Live and the Warner Brothers Studios Media District here in Burbank, California, just up the road from the Disneyland Resort, around the corner from the Walt Disney Studios. A big congratulations sent out to our friend Caitlin Coulter of Sacramento. She is the latest winner in the Kingdom Report mug giveaway. Have you heard about our mug giveaway? We know you want one. We know you're a fan. We know this is something that you are interested in, and therefore we want to give you one. All you have to do is wait for this live broadcast to post. Directly following the live broadcast on YouTube, go to the comment section beneath the video, and this week, leave the phrase that pays, Big Thunder Mountain. That's right, Big Thunder Mountain in the comment section down below will let us know that you are interested in winning one of these beautiful mugs, and we will randomly select you to win yourself your very own. All you got to do is put Big Thunder Mountain in the comment section, and you can do so between now and Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That is 8 a.m. Pacific time on the 22nd, March 22nd, Monday, by putting Big Thunder Mountain in the comment section down below. Once again, if you're somebody that is by chance watching us in the live stream, thank you so much for being part of the live broadcast and commenting as we go. Just remember, leaving Big Thunder Mountain in the live stream chat is not something that will qualify you for this, so you do need to leave the comment down below as soon as the video itself posts following the live broadcast. So over on our YouTube channel, Big Thunder Mountain in the comment section down below to be randomly entered to potentially randomly win yourself a Kingdom Report mug. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, so much to get to, so many various topics of the Disney lifestyle to touch on. We are going to do so, but first we need to introduce our friends, those here to share their thoughts on the topics of the day from attractionfaction.net. It's Tyler Crouch and Katrina Manzoni.
Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Hello.
We're here again.
I can't believe it.
Another week.
There you
with
are.
Really great news.
What's that?
Just really great news.
Oh,
we're just going to talk about it, about Disneyland and stuff.
Maybe you're going to surprise us with something else. And really great news, such as...
Yeah,
Nothing,
that's what I was
Further
waiting for. I was like,
discussion.
great
I was
news.
like-
Wow. What's the great news?
It is great news. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
The other great news, producer Christian back with us this week after a week
Christian.
off. So nice to see him. And what's happening to your head? What's up? What's going on up there?
I had to finally cut off my luscious locks.
Wow. It's a whole new you.
I didn't even recognize
Should
him
we
when
call you
walked in.
Christian? anymore? Should we call you something else?
Christian without an H. How
Yeah?
about that?
Oh, okay.
No, that works for me. By chance, do you happen to have a trading pin in which to share this week?
Of course I do. In the pin pocket,
Yes.
there's always pins to
There
go around. And
usually
this week is back to the Jack Skellington thing. It's the mayor. Can you see?
Oh, the mayor. Oh, no, not
He's
quite.
trying,
Wow.
he's
Oh,
trying.
that is just all
Focus.
kinds
Oh,
of
no.
blur.
Focus.
Oh no.
Well, I trust you.
I can sort of see it if you know what he looks
the
like.
little top hat right there. Looks right there.
Yeah, why is it having such a hard time on that one?
It can't. You know what? It can't see beyond his haircut.
It's
Yeah,
honestly
it's
wants to
really-
just focus on that, and we
it's too
purposely
focused.
did it this way.
I think that's what's going on. Well, we thank the mayor for joining us, even if he is a little out of focus. And so much to get to, so much to touch on this week. As always, it feels like there's always so much going on throughout a week, and always so much for us to take a look into when it comes to the headlines and the trending topics, which is why we are going to start right now with Disneyland news. Disneyland news time. All the headlines, all of the topics coming out of the Disneyland Resort worth touching on. And this week we begin by chatting with you a little bit about how Disneyland has now set forth an official reopening date. If you haven't heard, April the 30th is when Disneyland theme parks will officially be reopening. However, they are going to be reopening for California residents only. So this is something that we are getting a lot of questions about. People are interested in how that's going to be enforced, how that's going to be set up. NPR.org wrote the following saying, it's time for Californians to dig their Mickey Mouse ears out of storage. Disneyland Park and Disneyland California Adventure Park will reopen their gates to state residents on April 30th, more than a year after shutting down due to the coronavirus pandemic. The Anaheim, California-based theme parks will reopen at limited capacity and in line with state public health requirements, Disney CEO Bob Chapek told CNBC, saying, quote, "It's been a long, long time since we've been able to create magic for our guests and put our cast members back to work and help the associated businesses around the Anaheim area that currently depend on Disneyland for their livelihood. It's going to be a great opportunity for us, I think, to bring that magic back to everyone involved." Now, in addition to this news, April the 29th is when Disney's Grand Californian Hotel will be reopening. And keep in mind also that the DVC units, Disney Vacation Club, will also be opening a little bit later, a couple days later, as a matter of fact, more towards the May section of the calendar year. So interesting to hear that Disneyland is opening to California residents only. They've made note of that. The state regulations sort of required at the moment. The interesting thing about that, why I keep saying interesting, is there's been no real way publicized as to how they're going to enforce this, Katrina. I mean, just checking IDs, what are they going to do?
I feel like they might do was it ID.me or something, how they're doing it for pretty much anything to like check your identification. So maybe when you buy the ticket, it'll take you to ID me. And then you have to put your like ID in, which actually shows that you have residency and you have like an ID showing your residency.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that program.
So like I remember doing it because I had to get the real ID because I had to renew my ID in August. So I was like, well, might as well just do the real ID so I don't have to deal with it next year. And then to do that, I had to download or DMV partnered up with ID Me. And then I just showed like, a couple pieces of my bills to show my address, my driver's license, my passport. And then within like 2 seconds, they're like, okay, you're good. And then you just bring a copy in showing that you did this. And then you're good to go at the DMV. They didn't need to like really check anything else. And then they did it with a couple other places too to check your ID. And it's like simple. Like it's just a third party site. And then you go to your normal site and then it takes you to ID Me. You put in your whatever ID you need to put in, and then you're good to go.
Well,
it's simple.
Can't they just check from your credit card?
No, because I have another billing address.
Okay,
for mine.
That's true.
So I use my mommy's house. Anyway, whatever. TMI.
And mommy is
my mommy.
Out of state?
Yeah, she's
in
out of
Oregon.
state.
Yeah.
So.
But I use my mom's, and she lives in Oregon. But I feel like I think if they showed your ID like at the ticket booth, it's going to cause problems, right? Because then you're going to show up, you forgot it, you're going to hold up the line, and there's going to be problems, right? So I don't know if they would do that though, because it would just cause problems, because then you might have like a family and then one family member, you might have an ID that's California, but then this other person has Wyoming, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't come, and they're like, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then it would cause tons of problems.
Sure.
And then what are you gonna do? Disney can't be like the bad guy and be like, well, you can come in, you can't. So
No, I think they're gonna.
have
I think
fun.
they very much have to do that.
They have to, but
Yeah.
it's gonna cause a lot of problems. Again, like that. How long is that gonna take in line when there's like 45 other people behind you taking 30 minutes of your time,
Yeah,
and then you have to move aside, and
Wow.
then it's just problems. So I feel like they
I've-
have to use an exterior site.
I've been
Yeah.
saying for years and
So
years
do
you
that.
should buy your tickets before you get to Disneyland. But
I mean, I know you still see that line like
yeah,
really
you're like,
long.
wow, suckers, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it makes you
Yikes.
wonder if it's going to be. I mean, they haven't released any details as to how it's going to work, and obviously there's going to be a park reservation system process like they have for Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
We know that's coming. They've already talked about it, but how they enforce this first leg of things with just California residents, and for how long? I mean, obviously, it has to deal with the tier process that we have here in California, different colors allowing the regions of the state to reopen at different levels. So that has to be factored in for our outside of California viewers, the folks that don't understand how things are working here. It is kind of complicated. I mean, there's a lot to it, and a lot to understand as to how it all works, but
California is so complicated.
yeah, it always has to be. Yeah.
It's-
So I wonder if this is going to be something where they legitimately check it on the website, or if it's just going to be like an honor system sort of thing.
To attest, like there's like a little box at the bottom. Yes, I am a
Of
California
course,
resident.
of course, I live here.
I live here, but I don't have proof that I live here,
Right.
or something like that. Because they might just do IDs. I don't know if they're gonna be like, let me see your utility bill,
Right.
or
Now, you have
something
tens
like
of
that.
thousands of people that are flying into this state every day and have been the entire pandemic. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like this rule is going to truly root out anything that isn't already here in terms of people that are coming across state lines and people that are, currently in the communities right now. So it seems like an odd thing to want to do, on the front end, but this is how it's reopening. So this is what we need to deal with.
I guess. And then my other question is like, how are they gonna? Are they gonna be really good at this, or are they gonna allow like news crews from exterior states to come in and film Disneyland and stuff? Because then that goes against everything California.
I don't think they have
Rules
a
are
choice
meant
though.
for.
I don't think they have a choice. I think they would be directly opposing what the state is telling them they have to do if they were going to be inviting people from out of state.
And the state regulators will be there watching. I mean,
I'm sure
Newsom's
they
like
will
right
be.
there in the beginning, like through the bars, being
They
like,
can't
"I'm
wait."
watching you."
Exactly, yeah. So it's one of those things where they're going to be on, they're going to be very much on display for a while, and they would rather follow the rules than be shut down again, trust me. So
Yeah.
there's no way they're going to be inviting people from Florida or whatever, to come over here.
I
It's
hope
just-
so.
Hopefully it's just a short-lived thing. At the rate in which numbers continue to drop and things continue to be cleared. I mean, it's wonderful news across the board, and things keep getting sort of the green light, if you will, all over the place within the state. So I mean, it's terrific news, and like I said, hopefully it won't last very long, so we could just move on from it, and it won't have to be.
Yeah, how long do you think it's gonna last? Like a month or
restrictive.
two?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'll
The
be
way
probably
we're
about it.
progressing so fast, it's like, oh, we're in the red tier all of a sudden. Wow. Oh, okay. We're going in the orange tier soon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
things just keep sliding along, which is great news. And one of the other pieces of great news that is coming out of Disneyland's reopening announcement for April 30th is that there are going to be a handful of things coming back online during that time. As we mentioned, Disney's Grand Californian Hotel coming back on April the 29th. Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier Hotel, the other two resort hotel properties at Disneyland, will not be reopening at this time, but the Grand will. So that is an option, I guess, for California residents only. I mean, I suppose you
I'll
could
stay there. I'm super excited.
You could stay at the Grand, I guess, from being out of state. You just can't go into the parks. So I don't think they're checking anybody, coming into the hotel.
You technically
from out of
could, if you
state.
got a balcony, you could be inside the park
That's a good point.
for a moment, for like two sides of the park, technically. So
Yeah.
hey,
I'm watching from my balcony. Hello, California Adventure.
show me some popcorn and a churro, please.
Yeah. Throw down my locks and climb on up. Yes. Well, one of the best pieces of news is that Snow White's Enchanted Wish, the attraction that had been worked on just prior to the theme park itself closing down last year, Disneyland that is, was something that we were wondering, is it going to be ready in time for the reopening? And then as months passed, it became very clear that it's ready to go. It was ready to go the whole time. They had several months where they were able to work on it, and now officially it will be reopening on April the 30th with Disneyland. So Snow White's Enchanted Wish, with some sort of rethought ways in which they do this story for this attraction, not so terrifying anymore as it was for many children that went on this ride. Not necessarily something that's going to be freaking them out as much. It's going to be a little bit more magical, a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more fun. I know we've talked about it before as, the discussion regarding this being ready in time and, this new ride sort of being rethought as a classic attraction. It's going to be great to have Snow White on the docket when the park reopens.
I'm excited to see what they added.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited that they're actually like allowing this to like be open for April 30th.
Yeah.
Actually, because at first we were kind of like, is it going to be open? Like, are they actually going to allow it? And they are. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, there's a couple different things. I mean, within the park atmosphere too, where Fantasyland in particular, it's so landlocked. Like, it's such a tight space that I don't think we're going to see everything open in that land. I don't think they can, for the sake of having to do social distancing the way that they're required to. So I think that you're going to see some attractions not come back, even if they are completely outdoors, even if they are, meeting the criteria. This one starts outside technically, and then, has an open window basically, and then moves inside. So I don't think that that's going to restrict things too much, but definitely nice to hear that Snow White will be joining the lineup. In addition to that, something that is a little confusing at the moment is whether or not the Haunted Mansion will officially be on the docket for reopening. It was in the opening announcement, but as sort of an aside to what they were talking about in terms of coming back. So Rise of the Resistance was mentioned as something that was going to be coming back online when the park reopened, and then Haunted Mansion. There was an additional paragraph blurb in the official announcement talking about how Disneyland has created some new magic within the Haunted Mansion, and that the new magic is something that will delight everybody that comes to the Haunted Mansion. They just didn't specify what it was.
It's a second Hatbox Ghost.
I know, right? I was like, what more do we need besides our Hatbox Ghost? Maybe the ending scene when like Disney World has theirs, where they have the hitchhiking ghost and they have that little animatronic at the end.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be so cool. I was like, man, that'd be really cool if we got that too. I hope so.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be really cool if we got that cool effect.
Do you have any speculation as to what it might be? It's
That's
so out of left field.
That's actually the best speculation I feel like I've heard. I couldn't even tell you, but what I do like about Haunted Mansion, I feel like this, and you guys correct me if maybe I'm kind of thinking about it too much, but I feel like Haunted Mansion, almost in a way, is like a place for certain Imagineers to be able to like play around with, ideas of the future. And so it's really cool to me, like, that they kind of every few years, I feel like Haunted Mansion gets this cool upgrade of new technology that we then see, start to appear in other parks and attractions. And so I think that's really neat, and I love that they keep on doing it. So I'm excited to see what they put in there. I mean, I know they were painting everything, so I know we're going to see a bunch of new paint. But besides that, man, there could be a lot of fun stuff.
Maybe they're gonna get rid of that hideous bride at the beginning, or right before you see the Hatbox Ghost, and like actually put something better.
Yes,
get
rid
like
of that
some
bride.
hologram
Put a good bride
lady,
in there. I mean, the bride is especially bad when you see the Hatbox Ghost right afterwards.
Yeah,
like it's just like it's like a stuffed pillow followed by the most incredible animatronic you've ever seen in your life. Like,
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, can't you do something like what Anna and Elsa look like at least, or something like
that
have
would be nice.
Some kind of cool effect, and then you can keep the face, fake, and then just I don't know. Maybe it's her. I don't know. Those are my two. Those are my two guesses. The
They've
end
had a lot of time.
or the middle, right
Yeah.
before Hatbox Ghost. Get rid of that bride and change it up to make it look cooler, because that Hatbox Ghost, man.
yeah,
I love
great,
it. It's the best, especially during
awesome.
Christmas too, when he's like all dressed up and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Gray in the chat is saying Eddie Murphy makes an appearance.
Wouldn't that be something? Just screaming from room to room.
Imagine.
Every scene you come into, he's just screaming in
Yeah,
one way or
yeah.
another. Yeah,
I
the
like
whole
it.
time.
I'm into it.
Just like the movie.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah, a throwback, an audio animatronic to Eddie Murphy. That would be fantastic. Well, it has been closed, obviously just prior to Disneyland itself shutting down last year. Haunted Mansion was being worked on just like Snow White. And so, yeah, it's kind of up in the air. I am seeing it reported in different places. It's just Disney was kind of skirted the announcement that it would be available on that date of reopening. And The other thing that comes to mind is how the ride itself operates, and in Walt Disney World, Haunted Mansion at the moment is set in a way where you don't do the stretching room when you arrive anymore. You just walk right through, so they can continue loading people.
We can't do that.
But you can't really do that here because of how it's set up mechanically. So I don't know necessarily how they're gonna load things.
You just drop now. You're just like, whoop, get out.
Maybe only a handful of people at a time.
I think they'll just separate everybody. Like if you've gone and done Rise of the Resistance in Florida, like when you go to the first pre-show room, they literally just have different, little stickers on the ground that are and each sticker has its own kind of like, plexiglass kind of surrounding it. So, so they start that pre-show and everybody has their own little corner. So I would assume that's what they're going to do for
but that
Haunted
bottom section's going to be a problem. Remember, like even during Christmas, like you'll get out of the elevator and then there's still like a swarm of people outside the elevator ready to get on the ride. And you're like, whoa.
They're going to be
you have to like move to the side.
They're going to be letting less people in.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. So
but they would have to like keep that ride like moving all the time to like get the elevators. Oh man, that's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I'm so sorry, operations.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's going to be
Which is
tough.
why it wasn't very clear, because they didn't say specifically Haunted Mansion would be open, but it was heavily implied because it came right after the news of what would be. So it kind of implies that it will.
Yeah.
So I hope so. I just don't know how they're going to do it. It'll be great to see whatever new magic. It's odd to me that they're not promoting what the new magic is. Why say that?
Because they want people to go.
Go figure it
They
out.
have to pay to find out.
Go figure it
Come
out.
on.
Yeah, the mystery has always been the thing of the Haunted Mansion, right? I mean, it sat there for years with no attraction even happening. So I
Just
think,
a shell on a hill.
yeah, I think all you have to do is tell Haunted Mansion people that something new is happening, and we're all talking, but we wouldn't have talked about it for nearly as long if we knew exactly what it was. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
And you remember when Hatbox Ghost was released? Like we stood in line for hours just to get in.
Yeah, we
and
got
then
there,
we like
yep.
we didn't run because you're not supposed to run.
You don't run.
I hinged my butt and walked very fast, as fast as I could, and got in line.
We got a fast pass. One of us got a fast pass, and then
Stood
the other
in
one was
line.
stood in line, and then we just.
Then we
did
got
it
to go
2 times,
twice.
so-
It's a hell of an effect.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
But man, I am excited to find out. Maybe they'll do it like April 30th. They'll release the information, and so everybody can find out that. But you already booked your tickets, so they already have your money. So
That's
then they'll
true.
say it on April 30th.
They've
This
had a
is
long
our
time.
little new attraction.
Long time to figure out and to tinker and toy with what's inside. And also looking forward to some of the infrastructure work that they've done over the course of time that we've heard about, the widening of the entrances to, say, Frontierland, Adventureland, that sort of thing. They've been able to do a lot of groundwork, if you will, that they weren't able to do because Disneyland was open all the time. It was very hard to do that around crowds, especially record crowds that they were seeing constantly. So it's nice that they were able to do this during an off time and sort of come up with a way in which to not inconvenience people that will be there.
Yeah, what were
It's
they
true.
calling that whole thing? Project
Stardust?
Stardust,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then so like it's kind of funny. I mean, there's no way they could have known, but they spent so much time restructuring the park for more people, and then all the people disappeared.
Yeah, right. Well,
Sad.
all in
Well,
preparation
in a couple years.
for when the
Yeah.
crowds return.
Yeah. Oh no,
That's right,
no, it was they definitely needed to do it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
It's
it was
just
long overdue.
yeah.
And can't wait to see, finally when Tomorrowland does its new entrance, its new mock-up for its entrance. It wasn't something that when we originally talked about it, we were all thrilled over, because it's just kind of putting lipstick on a pig, if you will, and
Yeah.
still a pig, unfortunately, Tomorrowland, but hopefully it's the precursor of something more.
Yes.
Maybe more.
The People
more
Mover
Tomorrowland.
2.0.
Yeah, just fix Tomorrowland for us, please. That's all we want to see.
Please. Even when they did, just real quick, even when they did the Star Wars stuff and they put the lights and the fog machines on top of the building,
Yeah.
that even made a huge difference. Just do something like that. Okay, enough.
Yeah, more lipstick.
Yeah, more lipstick.
Yeah, that's right.
Just for real, please do something. Just
Just put
Just
a
something.
sparkle in your lipstick a
That's
little
all
bit.
we want. Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments what you think that new magic is going to be when it comes to the Haunted Mansion. What are they talking about? What do you think is going to be there for us, hopefully upon return, if not just a little bit later? And we would love to hear your perspective. You stick around. More Kingdom Report Live for you straight ahead.
Do you know everything the ghost host is going to say before he says it? Are you ready to thank the Venetians each time you board Spaceship Earth? Can you recite Walt's opening day dedication speech? Then join the Kingdom Team today, the influential legacy fan community featuring exclusive merchandise that will alert all who've come to this happy place that you are more than just another guest. You are a trusted theme park fan. Don't miss out. Join the Kingdom Team right now by visiting the homepage at kingdomreportlive.com. That's kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic.
You know what time it is. It's Garrett on the go time. Walt Disney World reporter Garrett Hassel is standing by somewhere for us in Orlando. Where are you at today, my brother?
Hello, everyone. I am in the middle of pandemonium here at Disney Springs. Yeah, pandemonium is a word I would use. It is insane with how many people are here. Just to get inside from the parking, it took 12 minutes of sort of being corralled like cattle up and down to get your temperature screening and then go through security. It is wild. And I'm also in front of Gideon's Bakehouse, the hit sensation here in Orlando. The original location, they thought that wasn't enough, so they built one here in Disney Springs. And if you want one of these mouth-watering cookies, all you have to do is wait 5 hours in a virtual queue before then getting in a half-hour actual line. So come get your Gideons today. Like, I'm thinking they need to I think they need to buy Morimoto's Asia and turn it into like a super cookie store because they can't get people in and out fast enough because I've had it before and I've waited 30 minutes. But 5 hours, that is
But you're
insane.
local. You
It's
can go
like
to the local bakery.
Yeah, that's true. Like the hype behind it is that it's on Disney property, so that makes it all the more better. But even at 3:30 right now, the parking here at Disney is next to gone.
Wow.
Security is slowly beginning to turn people away. So yeah,
Uh-oh.
Disney Springs on the weekend, it is the place to be. But I'm in front of Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, so maybe afterward I get something to calm the nerves a little bit.
Yeah,
the monkey.
Yeah, get a
thing.
cool-headed monkey.
Yeah, that thing.
I was actually thinking of that, or Reggie's Revenge. I love Reggie, that python.
Time to relax, yeah.
But walking in here, you see a mixture of everyone from mask unnoticed to no mask at all to cast members yelling at people in the lines.
Oh my.
But Disney Springs is indeed the lawless land. You'd expect in this area to see security. Nope. I've only seen security in one location. That was at the entrance over by the parking garage. So, yeah, if you're coming out here, be warned that Disney Springs is sort of the Wild West in ways where it's in no man's land. So beware. You never know when someone's going to pull out their 6-shooter and challenge you.
Well, maybe not that part.
Wow.
Just
Metaphorically.
Maybe their bubble wand or something.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically. At least you're truthful about how busy it is.
Okay, folks, I'm kidding. It is not that lawless.
There
It's
you
not
go.
that lawless. It's just there's a lot of people here. It really feels like how it used to be in the past. But it's wild out here. Pandemonium in Disney Springs.
Pandemonium.
Yeah, exactly. I want like a big pandemonium flare on the screen.
No, we'll get that graphic
Air
prepared for you.
horns playing and
Well, we know that it's spring break, probably why the crowds are so thick out there in Disney Springs. And with spring break at Walt Disney World also comes a pretty unique set of circumstances where those crowds swell, things tend to get a little bit bigger in terms of demand, and therefore Disney is once again trying to meet that demand. We hear what's going on.
So exactly like you said, Wade, a lot of people are coming out. People want to experience the magic. Well, if you're coming out towards the end of March, well, guess what? Park hours have been extended across the board from late March into early April up until April 3rd. The park hours have been extended. You've got parks like Epcot that actually have 12 hours open, 11 to 11, and all the other parks are matching, so you can see that on the screen. It is amazing to see that because I miss going to the parks at night. There's just something, I guess, blissful, serene, and calming about going to the parks at night. However, it is spring break, so it's still going to be a little wild, but it's nice to have the parks open a little later, especially Animal Kingdom. If you've never been on a nighttime safari, you have to give it a go. It is terrific. You get to see animals that are nocturnal come out and express themselves, and going to a place like Magic Kingdom at night, it's amazing, even without the fireworks. So it is a time to, come to the park. It gives you a little sense of normalcy, but just remember to be safe out there, folks. You still need to have that mask at the Disney parks, and you still are going to be waiting in those queues spaced 6 feet apart. So nothing in the terms of when the park doesn't have changed. It's just there's more chance and more time for you to go to the parks and experience that, allowing you more opportunity to experience all the different attractions and interactions you can have in normal Disney day.
We are hearing some great news on the CDC front. They're discussing right now about whether or not to reduce that 6-foot social distancing capacity down to 3 feet. So, again, all the numbers going in the right direction to allow for a lot of movement on that front. And I know Disney is certainly looking into whether or not, as soon as that guidance is issued, whether or not to reduce their 6 foot to 3 feet. One of the nice things about Disney World, outside of, sort of Disney Springs being that Wild West atmosphere, the theme parks typically have very good enforcement, as we've seen multiple times on our visits and as Garrett sees pretty routinely. In the theme parks themselves, they're still tinkering with all kinds of different opportunities and options and things to keep people safe and to definitely go the extra mile to ensure that everybody is abiding by these rules that are in place for however long they have to be. And I'm sure they can't wait to pull them back because then that allows them to do a lot more in terms of crowds and in terms of being able to let people just, be comfortable and relax a little bit more. So great news on that front that we're hearing the CDC might issue that guidance soon of 6 feet to 3 feet. So, we're finally turning that corner and everything's going the right direction, which is fantastic. And over at Hollywood Studios, one of the most popular parks to get a park pass reservation to, there's some new changes coming to the nighttime. Isn't that right?
That is right, Wade. Some exciting news. If you want to be a celebrity, well, guess what? You get to be a celebrity because every night is going to be premiere night. And what that means is, when you go into Hollywood Studios at night on a Chinese theater, you're going to see the spotlights going up there like you see often in Hollywood films or at Hollywood premieres. Pretty much showcase and be like, hey, there's something going on here. Yeah, Imagineers have unveiled this new lighting package there. And you can see Imagineer Zach Ridley, who's really been showing off a lot of what's coming to the park. He's saying, like, they have this new lighting package, LED, energy efficient. We're going to have spotlights on top of the Chinese theater. It's going to have the glitz, the glamour that you expect when it comes to Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios in the past was sort of like a half-day park, but now it seems they're pushing for it to be like, you can be here all day long. There's always something to do. And it really showcases that Chinese theater, that park icon, which for so many years was covered up by the Sorcerer Mickey hat. So it's amazing to see Hollywood Studios getting some love. Hey, I got a picture of the hat before it got torn down, so I'm pretty excited about that. But this lighting package sounds amazing because Hollywood Studios is really typically underrated at night. There's not much to do there because it closes so early. Or you could always do Tyler's favorite attraction of riding Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. But back to the main story. If you go down there, you'll see the spotlights. It's going to be seen around as you drive in and out of the park. So check it out. Go be the celebrity you want to be. If you want to be an actor, if you want to be actress, producer, director, you know what? It's your night because every night's premiere night, and you are the star in this epic tale at Hollywood Studios.
Oh my! How about that? What a way to
sell it. You said epic fail for a second,
it.
and I was like, "Oh no!"
You are the epic success.
But it's epic tale. Yes, indeed.
It'll be great to see that sort of lighting package be introduced once again. I know that for many years that was sort of the shtick there, right?
They did that, yeah.
So bring it back. I feel like Hollywood Studios has been in sort of an identity crisis for the last decade.
Yes, it has.
Somebody
really messed up on it, I feel like, and I still feel like it's still in the middle of that identity crisis. I don't think they're out of it yet. I still don't know.
They don't know what
they don't know what they want out of that park, I feel like. And I think, and it's funny, you say it's the most popular theme park to get park reservations to, but I just feel like it's the park with the least of, so it automatically fills up because, and Star Wars, you got Star Wars, and then you also just don't have any space there. So it's like,
it's probably why
it fills
restriction
up,
is there.
Yeah, it fills up so quickly because there's nothing to do there. It's kind of sad, but This is cool. This is really cool. I'm not trying to be negative. I think this is really neat. I'm glad that they should be going into this Hollywood persona. They should really be leaning into it, because the whole front is beautiful. That's my favorite thing about Hollywood Studios is the whole front area. I mean, it's so great up there. The whole Hollywood area is incredible, and then especially with like Tower of Terror at the very end of the boulevard, it's just like
embrace it.
Yeah,
love it.
so you lean into that, Disney, because that's the part of the park that succeeds the most, in my opinion. So I love that they're doing that. That's awesome. No more hats. embrace the icons you have. Like, that was such, whoever came up with the idea of like, let's erase our old icon and put a new one here, like, who thought that was a good idea? And it's never going to be a good idea. People love these icons for a reason. Keep them around, you know. That's what I say.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios itself, I know a few years ago there was the discussion upon the Disney hierarchy of whether or not they should call it something different too. And I remember that being talked about for a while, and they stuck with Hollywood Studios, and it's like, okay, well, let's make it Hollywood again. You know, let's embrace that original vision that was there, because the park really did have a pretty awesome mission. If you go back and you take a look at sort of the opening decade of the park itself, really cool. A really cool concept, really great idea. Granted, Hollywood itself has changed a lot over the years, as has filmmaking and the movie business and stuff. But, you know, maybe with just a little bit of creative ingenuity, they can embrace that too and do things a little different. What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah, I'm excited for the sliding package, and I agree with you guys in that for a while no one really knew what Hollywood Studios was, because you had the hat there, and then you had the animation courtyard, but then they got rid of that and made it Star Wars Outpost, and then they're trying to figure out different stage shows. But Hollywood Studios is desperately in need of figuring out what it is exactly, and they still have plenty of room to design more in that part. But in short, I am excited for the sliding package. It looks good. It looks exciting. It definitely embraces that Hollywood motif, which is, hey, we're Hollywood Studios. You're the star. Come and be a part of the action. Step into your favorite movies, whether that's Pixar, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, or if you want to be Disney Junior, you can do that. Just not the Little Mermaid show, not that one.
Don't forget Toy Story.
Sorry.
Toy
Pixar
Story in general,
Pixar,
as a blanket, yeah.
Yeah, because over there you got, you know, The Incredibles and you got Toy Story.
Good point.
But that park, it is a great park, and I'm glad that it's getting a little bit of love. But it's like 98%. It still needs that other 2% figuring out what it's going. Also, it's missing all the stage shows right now, which really makes it not as amazing. Like, without Fantasmic, without Indy and Beauty and the Beast, it's sort of like, yeah.
I mean, you can go sing along with Anna and Elsa. That's still there.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'd rather sing along with my buddy Gaston.
Oh, I see.
The star.
Got it. Right.
Yeah. But Hollywood Studios, like, it's a hot ticket item mainly because of Star Wars. Other than that, like, it needs a little bit more to make it really impactful for someone's vacation, or at least someone that's done it multiple times, like all of us here on the show.
Yeah, and Runaway Railway, definitely, you know, a great sort of centerpiece for the park, a great family attraction that can draw everybody in that Chinese theater, and you know, hopefully we'll see just a more cohesive storyline for the park emerge from all of this, and you know, whether it's old Hollywood, new Hollywood, the Hollywood that never was but always will be, as they said back in the day. It would just be great to feel that once again in that park. And hey, we jump over to Epcot now, where it's getting a little bit of character back in it. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Characters galore. So currently at Epcot, you can see the characters as they go around the world, whether it's Mickey and the gang or the princesses. But now, when you enter the park in that brand new entranceway, you can see your favorite Mickey and friend pals greeting you by the mural off to the right of Spaceship Earth. They'll be waving at you, socially distanced, and it's quite amazing because, like, when you see them go around the world in their little car, it's like it's going fast. They're waving, whatever. But this one, you can actually interact with them from a distance, and being characters, you know, they can animate themselves in a way that everyone can see them, and I love it. I can't wait to see my good pal Goofy over there doing his stuff, because who doesn't love Goofy? But it's added character. It's added some energy. It's made it more than just about the fountain and the flag. It now has that energy. And I can only hope that as the park continues to rebuild and get redesigned, that they will add these in more places. Heck, I wouldn't mind having, Buzz Lightyear waving over by Mission Space, or you go to Mexico and you have Donald over there again. I would love to see, I love Donald in the Three Caballeros outfit.
Yeah.
How about we just have the three caballeros go and meet there together,
I'm
all
good with
three, and then they can
Can
go
we
on
have
the
audio
ride because they're
animatronics?
missing.
Yeah, because they're missing on the ride.
Yeah, not the cutouts, I want either live characters or I want the audio animatronics. Because you have Anna and Elsa typically over in Norway. Me personally, why can't we get the Muppets over in America? I want Sam Eagle waving down at me as I eat barbecue.
Put 'em up there.
That sounds
Put them up there.
absolutely, yeah. Like, why can't we do this? But again, we're getting some character interactions in the front of the parks. We're getting that character element, which isn't necessary to making a Disney park operate, but it's a small detail that just makes it all that much more magical. From my background in entertainment, it's so nice to have, these colorful characters entertaining guests, welcoming them, because when you get waved at by Mickey, you're like, you know what, this is going to be a perfect day now. Mickey waved at me. I saw Goofy. Minnie blew me a kiss. I'm going to go, I'm going to do everything. It's going to be a great day. Even if you spill your popcorn, it's still going to be a great day.
Even then, yeah, no, it's awesome to see characters back in even greater capacity. You're right, we have been seeing them in the last few months, since Disney World officially reopened in more of a cavalcade type atmosphere. We're at a really far distance, so now to have them a little bit closer to us, it feels like everything is inching a little bit closer to us in terms of the way things used to be. So it's really nice, especially to know that they're right up front, because I think something that I miss about Magic Kingdom in particular, unless you're there in the late afternoon when they're up on the train station, you used to be able to walk in and immediately you could turn to your right, go into Expedition Hall. You could go into that hall on the right, and you could go meet Mickey, and you could go meet Tinkerbell, and you could meet characters right up front, and then they would of course bring them out into Town Square, that sort of thing. So now to have them out in front of Epcot, one of the busiest parks, it's really awesome to know that we can see them right as we enter.
I think it helps with the magic too, because again, like, you're going through that area and then just all of a sudden, boom, right there, you're gonna see like Mickey and Minnie and stuff, and you're like, oh my god, and then you wave, and then they'll give you like a little kiss sound, and you're like, yep, I'm good for the day, let's go.
That's your energy.
Yeah.
Yep,
You're telling me when they don't give you like little kiss sound and they like wave at you, you don't get a little blush and you're like, oh my.
I gotta be. This is something I've really never discussed with anybody before.
Uh-oh.
I don't like it when they make the kiss noise.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
Wow.
Well,
that is sacrilegious.
Glad I knew you.
Brand of Disney.
It's kind of weird.
Can you do the kiss noise, Garrett?
Of course.
No, that's not it.
That's not even it.
I thought you were a Disney fan.
Oh, no, I am, and you can't hear it through the mask.
No.
Okay.
No, I know what I'm doing. I know the kiss sound.
I know, he's getting so angry. I'm sorry.
I know, he's like, if I could take this mask off, I will.
I've been friends with Goofy for years.
He is a professional, people.
I believe you, Garrett.
I guess I'm thinking of more of like a pop sound. When I hear the kiss noise, it's more of like a pop.
Yeah.
Interesting fact. On the East Coast out here, they do the kiss sound. On the West Coast, because of, I think it's a Western dialect, they do the pop sound where it's like...
Oh, we have a
Western dialect. Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah.
No. I've done extensive research and studies. I'm working on a whole paper about it. But yeah, the kiss sound is out here in Disney World. The pop is out west at Disneyland.
I didn't know it was called a pop.
It's more of like a... something like that.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
See, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he knows.
He's well researched.
That's
our reporter.
I'm gonna lose it.
There he is. Yeah, that's our guy. Well,
oh wow, he's angry. Settle down, guy.
He's gonna turn into the Hulk.
Go get a cool-headed monkey, please.
There's a line now. I don't know. Cool-headed monkey. Like, I don't know. Raglan Road's right over there. I might get a pint of Guinness. Have a good one. Celebrate a belated St. Patrick's Day, but. I'm pumped to see more characters. I want more characters. I love the characters. I would kill to see, Gaston in front of his tavern again. That's something that's iconic with me. Or you see, even Pooh Bear and Tigger out in front of the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That was always so. You're like, oh my gosh, they're right there, and I can go hang out with them in there. The character interactions. It's that little touch of magic that makes your trip go from good to great to excellent, and I miss it. I really do. And then if you want to make it superbly amazing, supercalifragilistic, add some fireworks, and then it's complete. But for right now, I'm settling for the characters.
Everybody is always in a better place when it comes to more characters, that's for sure. Well, Garrett, we thank you for being there in the thick of the spring break chaos at Disney Springs, and we look forward to speaking with you again real soon.
I'm looking forward to it, friends. It's a wild, wild west out here, and you never know who's around the corner.
Yeah. Keep your eye open for pandas.
Pandas?
Yeah, you said it was pandemonium.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow, dad joke right there.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I kind of stole it from Andy in the chat, but
Andy, thank you. Tyler, I appreciate that. I don't get to see the chat always, so I appreciate that. But yeah, Pandemonium. We need to play Panda by Designer, but that's not exactly family appropriate, so we'll hold off on that.
Choose your words. That's right.
Yeah.
Panda.
Panda.
The best.
But yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go get a cookie after waiting 7 hours.
Great idea.
Okay, bye.
Good luck, buddy. And if you are looking forward to the lighting package coming to Hollywood Studios, or maybe meeting a few more characters at Epcot, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you appreciate segments just like this, go ahead, give it a big thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Let's keep the fun going. It's time for the Disney List. The Disney List has arrived, and this week the Disney List is all about coast-to-coast warfare. Yeah, I said it. It's something that we like to touch on. It's us sharing a little bit about what we think Disneyland Park does better than Magic Kingdom Park. So West Coast meets East Coast, Disneyland, of course, being California-based, Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom being Florida-based. What does Disneyland do a little bit better than, say, the Magic Kingdom? And we will start here with our very own Tyler Crouch to share what he thinks Disneyland does a smidge better.
All right, yes. So first thing on my list is kind of the biggest thing that everybody kind of talks about, especially with this COVID stuff. Everybody wants to know what's going on with this stuff. I think that Disneyland does nighttime shows better than Magic Kingdom. And I'm including, of course, we have Fantasmic over at Disneyland, and we have the superior version of Fantasmic, in my opinion. I know it's over at Hollywood Studios over in Orlando, so, that's not exactly a fair comparison, I guess, but I'm just saying they don't even have Fantasmic. So,
yeah. That's a great point. I mean, they don't, their Rivers of America at night is just dead.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it too, the other cool thing is, like, after you watch Fantasmic, you just sit exactly where you are, and then you watch the fireworks in the same exact place. And you can do that from anywhere in the park. You can do that on Main Street. You can see you can see the castle projections. They also have projections all up and down Main Street. You can do it at Rivers, like I just said. You can even at Matterhorn, they have a projection. They have a projection at Small World, and it just keeps on going. So you can really watch it. Thank you very much. She's my Vanna White today.
Count it up.
But it's one of those things where you can really watch these shows from pretty much anywhere in the park. And even now with Star Wars open, you can literally watch the fireworks from, like, directly underneath them.
Yeah,
it's just
pretty
insane.
You won't get the music, but it's
there's
pretty
no music,
crazy.
but
Like,
it's
there's
insane.
like a war going on,
Yeah.
and you're like watching it happen.
A galactic war.
Galactic
Yes.
war.
It's actually surprising that they let people do that, because when I was working custodial, I would find shells all the time in Toontown.
Absolutely.
I mean, all the time. These shells are hitting the ground. Anyway, okay, next thing. That's
Don't they have one really quick? Don't they have one at Tomorrowland too? They have like a private area to people to pay to watch the fireworks at Tomorrowland. Don't they have
they have that secondary level of the Interventions building.
So technically, you can have like 7.
That's a good point. I don't know. I don't know how long they were offering it for, because I know it was like limited time for a while. But yeah, you got like it's like a dessert party or something.
Yeah,
that
it
they
was.
did up
Yeah,
there, right. Yeah,
I think it was like $80. I don't know. It was pretty expensive for what it was, and then you would sit up there for like an hour
on the balcony.
On a balcony to watch the fireworks. But anyway.
And then if they canceled the fireworks, they wouldn't give you your money back.
Yeah, enjoy your water and your juice.
You still get some chocolate
and your cupcakes and Rice Krispie treats.
So anyway, on to my second one. My second one here is going to be, so I think this could be a positive and a negative, sort of. But what I love about Disneyland when I go there as a local is that everything is so close to it. Like, so when I go to Magic Kingdom, you feel like you're on an island. Magic Kingdom is like, You park at the parking lot. It takes you maybe 45 minutes to get from your car into the actual park because you have to go through security. You have to get on a ferry. You have to get on a monorail. You maybe have to get on a tram. It's just a really big hassle just to get to Magic Kingdom. Going to Disneyland, a lot easier. And once you're at Disneyland, you have California Adventure steps away. You have Downtown Disney steps away. You have all the hotels steps away. So I think, to me, once you're at Disney, you don't have to worry about spending a lot of time getting places. But when you're in Magic Kingdom, you have to plan your day around travel, like at certain points, and you can be stuck places without buses. Like, it's happened before to people we know and things like that, where time gets away from them and the monorail shuts off, and then you have to go get an Uber to get home.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's yeah. Anyway, yeah. Proximity to everything.
Yeah.
I just love that Disneyland. It has everything right on top of it. Great. There are a lot of. Here's my third one. There's a lot of great rides at Disneyland. Like, rides that I would say are better than rides at Magic Kingdom. And it was hard for me to. I could have just been like, oh, some of the rides. But it was hard for me to kind of narrow it down. What I really thought about was just what's super iconic. And so the ride, to me, that I'm going to say is a much better experience than it is at Magic Kingdom is the Disneyland Railroad.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you get on that Disneyland Railroad, not only is it just like super iconic while you're coming into Disneyland, like for some reason it just feels better to me coming into Disneyland than into Magic Kingdom. Like, I don't know what it is, but it feels more welcoming and quaint and homey, I guess, over at Disneyland. But then beyond that, and it's just a huge part of the resort. Like, Walt loved trains so much, and it was such a baby, like a pet project for him that you can't help but just look at it and be amazed. And especially that they're real train engines and they're really running like a train engine would. And then to top it all off, you go through the diorama. You go through this massive diorama, the Grand Canyon diorama that they put together and even updated it a couple years ago with new projection effects and things like that. And then you go through the Kingdom of the Dinosaurs right afterwards. And it's just, I mean, when I was a kid, I would just tell my dad, like, we would just walk to Tomorrowland, get on the train to go through the diorama, and then we'd walk right back to Tomorrowland again, get right back on the train and go through the diorama. Like, I love that diorama, and it's still.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
The music is so like the music is like ingrained in me too. It really is. But
it's very iconic music.
Yeah. The thing that always makes me crack up when I go in there is all the people that try and take flash pictures of the glass.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, wow, okay, cool.
Some people don't know.
I thought we were smarter than this as a society. I guess not.
They look at it and they take another one because the other one didn't turn out.
You're right.
So they take another one.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, those are my three things that I think Disneyland does better than Magic Kingdom. I think that it does a lot of things better than Magic Kingdom, but those are my three that I thought I would love to share with you all.
Well, that's fantastic. And
awesome.
We'll move right on over to Katrina. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I honestly love Disneyland's customer service more than Magic Kingdom's. I feel like just the way people are honored to be in like a historic area, to like actually be able to work for Disneyland, because I know like a lot of them are very local at Disneyland. They've grown up with Disneyland. They want to work for Disneyland, and then they just feel so proud and honored to have this role, and they like actually like embrace it and love it. Where at Disney World, they have a lot of college program kids, and then they're, some were going to stay there, but some are going to move on. They just wanted to have Disney under their belt because that's a big feat,
Sure.
Like the college program is huge.
Golden stamp.
Oh, yeah. But I just feel like the people at Disneyland are just so proud to work there because they want to be there.
Yeah.
And they want to be there for like the rest of their lives and just move up and stuff. And so I've, run in with like so many people where they just, I don't know, they always just made me feel special, I guess.
It's definitely a generational thing at Disneyland, I've noticed. I'm sure plenty of people want to work at Magic Kingdom, and some folks, will want to work there for many years. Disneyland has something very unique, and that is, you're right, that sense of community that has been around that Anaheim park for so long. And I know, having worked there myself, just how many people that were born, you know, from grandpa to son to grandson that work there, and it's like a family thing, you know.
It's beautiful. And I get it, like and to work there is not easy. It is very hard to work at Disneyland and any theme park, you know, and for Disney especially, I feel like it's very hard to work there, and like to see them be so happy, you wouldn't even know what their life is like outside of it. But you appreciate them because they want to make you feel special. And I think that's amazing. That they take so much pride in their work. My second one is cleanliness. I remember going, because we would go to Disneyland all the time, and so when Tyler and I first met, we finally went to Disney World for my very first time. And I just remember walking into Magic Kingdom, crying at the castle, being like, oh my God. But then we would start walking around, and I was like, God, there's popcorn everywhere. There's stickers on the floor. You know, it's just, you notice it a lot more. And it's kind of crazy because at Disneyland, if you see it, you blink, it's gone. Like they're so good at what they do. Like those custodial cast members are amazing. Like no matter what they do after the parade, boom, they're on it. They know what to do. Everybody like gathers together. Like it's like their own, you know, attraction. Like you watch how fast they work, and you'll never know that somebody vomited right there like 2 seconds ago, you know. Like it's kind of crazy. So I give a lot of props to Disneyland for doing that, and like how clean it is. It's spotless. I wouldn't eat off of the floor, but it's very, very clean.
Magic Kingdom definitely, it almost kind of feels like it's too big for its own good sometimes. And when it's so busy, and I certainly have not encountered this during the pandemic at all, because they've managed to keep the crowds very low for the most part, and it seems like they've been able to keep up on things, especially in a state of cleanliness that we're all in. But I do recall before, whenever I'd go to Magic Kingdom, I would experience that, where it felt like you know, restrooms weren't being cleaned nearly as much as I would see them in Disneyland. And you know, it almost became a thing where I thought either it's too crowded or this place is too big and they don't have enough staff. But I would notice that. And
it's not dirty. It's not like super dirty, but you just notice if you go to Disneyland all the time and
it's a standard.
You see it and you're like, wow. And then for me, my first time going to Magic Kingdom, I'm like, I mean, it's stupid, but I'm like, there's popcorn on the ground.
When you become conditioned,
crazy.
Absolutely. When you become conditioned to something and told this is excellence, and then you know you go to the same company's place just on a different coast, you expect the excellence to be met because they set that standard. So you're absolutely right.
So if you've never seen it, but go to Disneyland and then go back over there. It's not dirty, but it's just there's not enough people, or people are very dirty there. I don't know. They just keep throwing popcorn on the ground for the ducks. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. You have something to say? You good? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh no,
nodding approvingly.
No, I mean the custodial people are very proud people over there. I mean,
nobody does it better.
I was in the Disneyland custodial team for about 8 months, and everybody there is very proud of what they do, and we worked really hard.
The trash, man, it is always empty. Like you'll never find a full trash can at Disneyland. I can go on about it all day. Anyway, so number 3, let's move on.
Yes.
Characters. I think Disneyland has the best character meet and greets. Oh, Garrett, if you could only see him right now.
Garrett's wobbling his
Garrett,
hand.
you're wrong. Do not. He's like, I was like, listen. But like,
let her explain why, Garrett. Let her explain.
Let me explain, okay? Like, hold on a minute. I explain. Okay, so again, in Disneyland, they roam around. You don't see that like right now during the pandemic. Yes, like during the shutdown, now Disney World is able to have like Winnie the Pooh run around catching butterflies up on the lawn and, you know, whatever, but they're not interacting with people. But Disneyland, it's like so amazing when you walk in and then you just see like the Queen of Hearts like running around. You see Cruella and like trying to like, you know, see little children, and she's like, come with me. And then she, you know, it's just so great. And then you see like Peter Pan was always my favorite because Peter Pan runs around Fantasyland. And then he just like plays with the kids. He just plays tricks on Hook, and then Hook runs around and the kids are mean to Hook, and then like Hook gets sad and he starts walking away, and then like, you know, and then it's just like everybody, like some kids will be nice and be like, let's be nice to Hook, and then they'll like join sides, and it's just so much fun to see that. And like and they'll like play tag or whatnot. It's just it's so great. And then
they just get to wander around without a handler, basically, which is something that never happens in Disney World.
It's great. Like, you see the parents, like, their face lit up because the kids are able to play with other kids. Maybe that child is kind of too scared to talk to other children, and then it just, being near Peter Pan just changes their, you know, outlook. And then you see this parent that has a kid that never talks to anybody, playing with other children now, and they're, you know, playing tag or hide and go seek or God knows, like, whatever they do. Like,
I love the musical chairs tradition that they've. Oh, sorry, I thought you were like, okay, then go ahead and
she's building to it.
I was building to it.
Okay, sorry,
then
I thought you were.
Alice and the Mad Hatter go, and then they get to play musical chairs, which is so fun to see. Like,
and
that's
Tweedledum and Tweedledee will be there sometimes, and
it's just great.
Just like
the
a big party for the kids.
Just going out. It's just always so fun because it just makes. It's just so inclusive, you know. It's just, you feel like the kids feel like welcome. They're able to like actually be kids,
and it feels lived in. I think that's the real, like, it feels like when you go to a place like the original Magic Kingdom at Disneyland, you feel like it's a lived in environment where these characters go. They
live there.
Yeah. And Magic Kingdom, it feels very operational, kind of because they have to, right?
Sure.
They have so many people and
Can
such
you
demand.
imagine like a character walking around?
I'd be killed.
Like, they would be bombarded and they would like be like everybody would just like drag their their limbs everywhere.
Have you seen a Goofy movie?
Yeah.
It's like when Lester's Possum Farm and Lester comes out, the character,
Yeah.
to meet and greet, and they
Lester.
just
It's
they just
scary.
destroy him and take
Poor
him.
Lester.
Like,
It's kind of like that.
like the evil queen walks around. I remember like there was still one moment like where the queen was meeting, because she always sometimes like when she walks out by the castle, she goes through and it's like that shaded area on like if you're like looking at the castle on the right hand side by the wishing well, and she'll come through like that shaded area. And so some people, like, she watches for you. And she's waiting for someone to catch you off guard, and she'll take her cape and just go woo and like put you right over that person. They'll be like, oh God. And then they'll like scream, and then she's just like gives them that like evil stare and then just walks away. And it's so great. Or then you'll see like Snow White meeting with somebody, and then the evil queen will walk by, and then you'll see like Snow being like, hello. And it's always fun. Like the fairy godmother runs around. It's just, again, you're right. It's like they're lived in. This is where they live. And then, you know, the big prince, you know, see Belle and stuff walk around with Beast and Gaston. Blech, Gaston, am I right?
Oh, jeez.
Look at Garrett's face. He's like, what? Haha, I got you.
Well, let's bring him in. So Garrett Hassel, our Walt Disney World reporter, is in Orlando at the moment, Disney Springs, and he certainly has his own list to share here. When it comes to Disneyland, sir, what do they do a little bit better than, say, Magic Kingdom just up the road from you?
So if we're just doing Magic Kingdom, man, so much. There's so much better at Disneyland. No, really, like, Disneyland is my favorite park. I love it. Disney World is great, but Disneyland has my heart. First and foremost, the attractions are better out west. It's just a done deal. You do a comparison side by side. Pirates of the Caribbean at Magic Kingdom is shorter and doesn't have as many drops as the one out west. You look at something like It's a Small World at Disney World. It's just destruction to the mind, while the one at Disneyland it was built for the World's Fair. It is beautiful. It's actually interesting. You actually want to go on it, and plus they do a holiday edition of it, which makes it amazing. Haunted Mansion, better overall. I'll get you a Haunted Mansion holiday. Like the attractions, I could go on and on, but typically the attractions at Disneyland are better, but they're also built for two different clienteles. Disneyland is more so for the locals. Take your time, enjoy it. While Disney World is like, we got to get the numbers and we got to keep going. We need more. And it happens. But I got to give a shout out to Indiana Jones Adventure. Like a million times better than Dinosaur. It's the same exact track, and I've done a video on it before, but Dinosaur just like left, right. Dude, stop it.
Feels like I'm in the ride right now.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it.
They're not going to make it.
Thought it was
But
weird.
Indiana Jones Adventure is just amazing. The queue is incredible. Like you just can't beat that. So attractions, number one. Second thing, I don't know if I feel like the lands are designed better out west than out here. Like you look at Main Street. Main Street is twice as long at Disneyland and like you like, know what? I feel like I'm in Marshall, Missouri. I'm walking down. Walt could be right there, and I would not question it at all. You got like, yes, you get the Dapper Dans at both locations. Yes, you get the band, but Disneyland just has that home feel about it, where you just feel like you're in a natural town. You're not in some theme park produced by a company. You're in like an actual physical place that exists on the map. Like what Katrina has said, you know, you got the characters roaming around, like that seems like a natural thing at Disneyland. At Disney World, the characters cannot roam around. They would be bombarded, like at the Possum Park, RIP.
It's frightening just to think about.
But Disneyland, it just has this hometown feel of it, where you walk through and you're like, man, I could live here. Even if you compare Adventureland at Disneyland feels more authentic. It feels more real. While the one at Disney World, it just feels sort of corporately built. And I'm sorry if I'm hurting anyone's feelings, but you need to experience Disneyland because it has this different feel. And that's probably my third thing, which is Disneyland has an aura about it. When I was there before I did my college program, I went there with my mom, and I remember we're in front of the castle, Mickey and the gang comes out, and they playing like the opening day speech of Walt, and I teared up because you could feel Walt's energy, and I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. But when I'm in Magic Kingdom, I don't feel Walt's energy because Walt passed away before anything was even built. He bought the land and he passed away, sadly. So at Disneyland, you have walked where Walt has walked. You touch the areas that he has touched, like his ingenuity, and just you feel Walt there. And at Disney World, you don't feel Walt as much. Like you feel his ideas and you like his inspiration inspired by Walt, but you don't feel him. And it's a weird thing to talk about. It's kind of hard to express it. It really is a feeling. But when I see the castle at Magic Kingdom, I'm like, hey, that's a pretty nice castle. But when I see the Beauty Castle, yes, it is hundreds of feet shorter. I get it. Yes, there's no stage there, but you look at it and you're like, that's the original. That's where the magic started from. That is where you feel like you enter a portal and you enter these fantastic worlds. So to reiterate, attraction, Disneyland, nice job. Just overall design of the land, Disneyland, phenomenal. And finally, the aura and energy of Disneyland is unlike any other. When I've been to Disneyland Paris, I felt magical there, but like I didn't have that Walt feeling, like Walt standing behind you, where you can feel like Walt being like, how's it going there, friend? Or something like, hey there, fella, like something like that. You don't really feel that out here because it's like you're like trying to lift it. We got to experience it all. We don't have time to sit around and embrace, Main Street. We got to go over to the Tiki Room and watch that, or we got to go hop on Jungle Cruise, which is 5 minutes long. It's just, Disneyland is superior in most ways, and this is an argument I've had many times with many friends, including my old college program roommate Tom. Tom, love you, buddy. But Disneyland, it just has this feeling about it. But characters, Disney World hands down destroys Disney World, but that's an argument for another day. But
thank you
overall, for that. Disneyland, I miss you. I hope to see you again. And
April 30th.
Not for him.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't have residency.
I'm a Florida resident now, baby.
You didn't do a West Coast kiss, so you're not welcome back.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, you can come back now.
Perfect.
But no, both parks are unique, and they each deserve their own respects. It's hard to compare Disney World to Disneyland because you got 4 parks and like 18,000 resorts versus 2 parks and like 3 resorts. But I'm gonna stop it there. We could easily do this for 3 hours, and I gotta get it.
That's our after-hour show.
That's right.
Yeah, that's our Kingdom Report After Dark.
Well, thank you, friend. Appreciate that. And yeah, if anybody is concerned about, why are we harping on Magic Kingdom? It's not that. We're making some comparisons here, and certainly in the future we will do what Magic Kingdom does better than Disneyland, because there are some things. So I think it's important that, these parks are very different places in very different places that almost, elicit a very different crowd in many ways, given the fact that Walt Disney World is much more of an international destination, so they have to do things differently out there than, say, Disneyland is out west. So We're interested in what you think, of course, as always. Leave it in our comment section down below. What do you think Disneyland does a little bit better than, say, the Magic Kingdom Park out east? We'd love to hear your perspective. Kingdom Report Live moves on next.
Hey Kingdom Team, do you need more magic in your life? We understand, which is why we connect you to more of what makes you happy 3 times a week. Catch our theme park coverage, vlogs, and reviews every Tuesday and Thursday. And experience the Kingdom Report Live, streaming every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. That's new content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, crafted with you in mind. Don't miss out. Be sure to subscribe and activate notifications at The Kingdom Report on YouTube. And catch every update throughout the week at Kingdom Report Live on social media. See you there!
Kingdom Team All Call Time. Questions and answers. That is what this segment is all about. If you have questions for us, you can leave them over at kingdomreportlive.com. Fill out the form on the website, or you can leave them in the comment section down below. Always listening to whatever you have on your mind and responding as fast as we can. Today's Q&A comes from Angela. She says, what do you think the modified Disneyland experience will be like? No parades, no fireworks. Will it be worth it with this less of an experience? So, not necessarily sure where Angela is from, not necessarily sure if, she's in Southern California as Disneyland gets ready to reopen April 30th. But this is definitely something that everybody should consider. So when eventually down the line Disneyland opens up for everyone, not just California residents as it is starting out to do, the is it worth it question is really on your own lap. We've gone to great lengths to talk about Walt Disney World since it reopened last year in July, and just how worth it that experience is based on all of the concessions you have to make to visit. Obviously, things are very different right now. Things are restricted in many ways, and a lot isn't being offered, as she mentioned. So her question comes from, I think, a very good place, and that is, will a full day's ticket price be worth what will ultimately be there? I figure, Tyler, we'll start with you here. Number one, what sort of restrictions do you think, based on what you've seen out at Walt Disney World, are going to be carried over to Disneyland? And then on top of that, do you think ultimately it's going to be worth a $150, per day ticket?
Yeah, I mean, it's very subjective. Just to say it again out of the gate, but for me personally, so what are they going to strip out? There's going to be no big live shows. There's going to be no fireworks or parades. There's probably going to be very little in the way of characters. There probably won't even be small time shows, to be honest, like little, Disneyland band or anything like that. I just don't really see that happening for quite a while. And if those are the things that you go to Disneyland for, then maybe don't go. But I don't go to Disneyland. I like those things being at Disneyland. Like I like having those things be in the periphery. I like feeling like it's alive. Mm-hmm. But that's not why I go necessarily. So, for me, when I've gone to Disney World a few times this past COVID year and stuff, it's been like, I just want to go to the rides. I want to go to some of the restaurants, and I want to go to some of the bars, and I want to stay at this hotel. So that to me was totally worth it. Yeah. And the other thing you have to remember is, because they're going to be at lower capacity, you will be able to complete more during your day than you would have if it was just a normal regular Disneyland day. So maybe you won't have fireworks, maybe you won't have the parade, but you're going to get so much done in the way of rides, because I really do think the lines aren't going to be very much to talk about at all for at least this time that we have coming forward right now. So again, it's very up to you. Give you a little bit of the tools to kind of work that out yourself, but that's kind of my perspective.
Yeah, what do you think, Katrina? I mean, obviously this is a location that is going to have to function in a much smaller footprint overall. Disney World being so much bigger, they can accommodate a lot more. They can also have a lot more attractions open because they can accommodate so much more space-wise. We have to remember here also that not everything is going to return when Disneyland opens for the sake of spacing people out. So they can't, say in Fantasyland, have absolutely everything open because you need places to put people physically for the sake of distancing and following the state guidelines. You know, it's nobody wants to do it, but it's something that has to be done at the moment. So what do you think in terms of worth and in terms of things that might be restricted? What comes to mind?
I think I'm going off of kind of what Tyler said. If your hopes are, like, if you're a person that's never visited Disneyland, I will tell you, do not go now. It's not worth it.
You're going to miss out on a lot.
You're going to miss out on so many things. But if you have gone to Disney, and it's kind of like what Garrett talked about this aura, to feel next to Walt, just to walk in his footsteps, to see this stuff, go. Like just because half of these rides, or not half, but like, you know, there might be like a small percentage of rides that may not be open. The people that go to Disneyland know that fireworks are never every day. During the lowest week, or like the not the busiest weeks, but like during their off season, they don't have fireworks. I think they only had them on the weekends, so you would know, like, if you don't really care about fireworks, go during the weekday. You know why? Because attendance is low. So, and that's what a lot of people love. Like, I loved going during low attendance, just because, like, you know, I would try to, like, maybe take a sick day off of work and be like, oh gosh, like, I'm so sick, and then go on a Wednesday with Tyler, and then just roam around and just have like nobody there, and then just sit and feel, like what Garrett said, this beautiful aura, just to like watch the Mark Twain walk around, or, you know, the sailing
as it likes
ship
to do.
Yeah. Around and around. Doesn't like to sway every here and there. But anyway, and like the sailing ship Columbia, you just you just plop yourself down and just like watch, you know, like that. Like Disneyland's like a mosey place. Like, it's not like Disney World where you're like go. You know, you grab your fast pass. Now, like, the max passes are now obsolete, but you know, you would grab a pass, you would stand in line, you go ride a ride, grab some popcorn, a churro or something, sit down and enjoy the view. Right. Listen to the music. Just be present. You know, like, that was the thing that I'm looking forward to the most. So if you've never gone to Disneyland, don't go now. If you're just in it for, you know, the parades and the like the nighttime stuff and all that whatnot, like, it's not going to happen, so don't go. But if you want to go just to feel this presence, just to be there, then go. Because that's like, you really want to be there. And like, I want to be there just to like feel this again, like this happy place. So I'm really excited. And then, you know, you get some rides. I mean, again, you're not going to get all the rides, but at least you get some, right? And you get that new Snow White ride, right? So, hey, win-win. And guess what? The Peter Pan ride may not have a long queue this time.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Because if you know, that line is like 60 minutes.
Oh, I know.
And you get 15 seconds. You cannot blink on that ride.
Don't be blinking.
15 seconds, and then it's over. Yeah. So hopefully that line's going to be like a good 15 minutes now.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Right?
Yes,
God,
please.
look at like, listen, we're going positive here.
That's right.
Peter Pan. Finally get to ride it maybe twice in a day.
Exactly. I don't have to wait an hour to get on Peter Pan. Yeah, that is a huge sell point. And when you think about places like Walt Disney World, you know, we have a whole series on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel called Walt Disney World and Pandemic that really goes into a lot of the specifics, from hotel stays to travel to what you experience while you're there. And one of the key things that I picked up along my various trips is, would I want to spend the money for a family of four? So say I'm bringing my family of four to Walt Disney World right now. Would that be worth it to me? I think in terms of magic and in terms of kids experiencing something, I guess, a little hopeful, maybe, but I wouldn't want to spend the same amount of money on far less of an experience, which is what's being offered at the moment. And it's just because they can't offer everything fully. It's not that they don't want to. They would kill to, you know, they even try to infuse a few low-level fireworks during Christmas time for the sake of the castle effects, and they're slowly starting to bring these things back online. Hopefully Disneyland Disneyland will be able to do something similar, or at least something a little enticing. They are saying they're going to have some cavalcades, much like Walt Disney World does in all their parks, with the characters kind of flying by on no set schedule, which is, I think, a little bit more magical than having a set parade every day. Let's jump out to Walt Disney World, where Garrett Hassel, our Walt Disney World reporter, is standing by. He's somebody that has been in all the parks. He's experienced everything out there. In terms of value, worth coming to Disneyland, we know that you're a super fan. We know that you love the place, and you would come no matter what. But in terms of what you think some of the restrictions might be, and whether or not you would encourage other people to go to Disneyland in the coming months, given all the restrictions, what comes to mind? What say you?
What say I? Sorry, that's some Pirates of the Caribbean humor. For me, if, like how Katrina said, if it's your first time, you've never experienced the magic of Disneyland, I would not recommend this as the first time going. This is, as we said before, this is for the Disney veterans, the ones that have been to Disneyland 10 plus times before, that know the lay of the land, that know the schedule of the fireworks and parades by heart. This is for you. They're definitely going to have, some of your hit rides, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, that might not be on the list there. You might not have these other experiences that you're typically used to. For myself, I would still go out there because I miss the magic. I love Disneyland, and I've experienced it all before. While it is sad that they will not have the entertainment selections that you're used to, whether that is Mickey on Main Street waving at people, or seeing Bert and Mary Poppins walking down Main Street waving at people. Like, that's an iconic image in my head. I've seen it so many times. But you're just not going to have these character interactions that often can make a Disneyland trip that much more special. And all the entertainment spectaculars, they won't be there. It's sad to think about Disneyland without, fireworks or without, a parade going on. But it's just like Disneyland. I would still go out to it if you have the ability to, and if you feel safe enough. But if it's your first time, it's a lot of money to get a very little reward out of it. You're not getting that whole enchilada. You're getting half the enchilada, or maybe you're just getting that chalupa.
You may get that tortilla, but not the innards of the enchilada.
Oh my, no innards.
Scary thought right there.
Terrifying.
Disneyland is a truly magical place, and I spoke about the aura in the past, about how you feel like you feel Walt's energy. I'm sure you'll feel a little bit of it, but it won't be the full effect of it, because like when you see the characters, when you see everything going, and you hear the fireworks at night, that's where you feel that aura. But
that's when you feel like that little girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fever pitch.
But if you're only running a park at 80%, it's still worthwhile if you've done it before, because you get to remember the past. Plus, you get to enjoy, limited capacity, getting to experience everything, not having to wait in an hour-long line for every single thing. But hi, I love you too. Yeah. There's a little girl over there. She's been waiting on me the entire show. But just my closing thing is, if you've done it before and you have the ability to, being a California resident, lucky, go do it, experience it. Let me know how it is, so I can experience it vicariously through you. But if it's your first time, I'd say hold off, save your money a little bit more, so that way you can experience it when it becomes 100% online, with its grandeur and just its beauty and magnificence. That's a lot of adjectives in there.
Wow.
But
so descriptive.
But yeah, Disneyland, it deserves to be experienced 100%. If you've never done it before, if you have, go check it out, enjoy it, and take in the moment and bask in all its glory and beauty.
Well, thank you for that, sir. And for those of you that are interested, Disneyland is sort of day by day piecing together what that opening experience is going to be like. So Disneyland.com is your friend if you're a California resident. It's only going to be open to California residents at first, and then slowly, as they start to roll back more and more restrictions, allowing more people in from outside regions. And hopefully, it won't be too long before we're back to a great sense of normal, as hopefully we will see that come plastering on through not only Walt Disney World, but also Disneyland, and then of course Disney parks abroad. If you would visit Disneyland no matter what, regardless of the restrictions in place, go ahead, give this video a big thumbs up. Also let us know in the comment section down below what you would even pay for a restricted Disneyland experience with less to offer. We would, as always, love to hear your perspective. All right, friends, that about wraps things up for us here on the Kingdom Report. One last mention to you, if you would like to win yourself a Kingdom Report mug, you can do so by simply leaving a comment down below. And this week's phrase that pays, this week's comment you need to leave, Big Thunder Mountain is what you need to put in the comment section. Again, this is something that will enter you into random selection for potential to win this very mug. And of course, you can color code what you would like. So if there's a particular color that stands out to you is a mug worth color choosing, you can do so. You do have until Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific time after the live broadcast in which to leave that comment. So please do so. We would once and as always, I was going to say once again and as always, appreciate to see that comment down below because you too can win. You too can have yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug. All right, that about wraps things up for us. Hopefully you've had a good time. I know we have. If there's any other Disney Parks questions you have, you can head on over to kingdomreportlive.com, fill out the form on the main page, and let us know what's on your mind. Otherwise, make sure that you share this video, or if you listen to us in podcast form, that you share the audio version with a friend. Let any Disney Parks lover you know, let them know that we are available. Let them know that we are here for them. We are always growing. We are always appreciative of your listening ear and your viewing eyes. It means so much to us. And remember, the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like you and me. We'll see you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific for an all-new Kingdom Report Live.
I have PenFed, that's a fact.
I have PenFed, that's a fact.
My credit card purchases get me cash back.
My credit card purchases get me cash back.
No one else gets these rewards.
Sergeant, that is just plain untrue.
What in tarnation?
Sir, PenFed's Paracash Rewards Card isn't just for military members. Anyone can get cash back on all purchases.
Ah, Figgins! You've ruined my favorite song.
PenFed Credit Union. Visit penfed.org/powercash. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.
Streaming only on Peacock.
John Wayne Gacy killed 32.
Straight from the killer's mouth.
They want you to believe that I alone committed these murders.
The new gripping 6-part documentary series, John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise. All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock.